Welcome to this YouTube channel. In this video we are going to talk about top 10 things to know about Zoroastrianism. So before starting this video, like this video, and subscribe to our YouTube channel for future updates. Here are 10 things you didn't know about Zoroastrianism. Number 1. Zoroastrianism or Mazdayasna is one of the world's oldest continuously practiced religions based on the teachings of the Iranian-speaking Prophet Zoroaster, also known as Zarathustra in Avestan or Zarathustra in modern Persian. It is a multifaceted faith centered on a dualistic cosmology of good and evil, and an eschatology predicting the ultimate conquest of evil with theological elements of henotheism, monotheism, monism, and polytheism. Zoroastrianism exalts an uncreated and benevolent deity of wisdom, Ahura Mazda, wise lord, as its supreme being. Historical features of Zoroastrianism, such as messianism, judgment, after death, heaven and hell, and free will may have influenced other religious and philosophical systems, including Second Temple Judaism, Gnosticism, Greek philosophy, Christianity, Islam, the Baha'i faith, and Buddhism. Number 2. The most important texts of the religion are those of the Avesta, which includes as central the writings of Zoroaster known as the Gathas, enigmatic ritual poems that define the religion's precepts, which is within Yasna, the main worship service of modern Zoroastrianism. The religious philosophy of Zoroaster divided the early, Iranian gods of the Proto-Indo-Iranian tradition into Ahuras and Devas, the latter of which were not considered worthy of worship. Zoroaster proclaimed that Ahura Mazda was the supreme creator, the creative and sustaining force of the universe through Asha, and that human beings are given a right of choice between supporting Ahura Mazda or not, making them responsible for their choices. Though Ahura Mazda has no equal contesting force, Angra Mainyu, destructive spirit, mentality, whose forces are born from aka mana, evil thought, is considered the main adversarial force of the religion, standing against Spenta Mainyu, creative spirit, mentality. Middle Persian literature developed Angra Mainyu further into Ahriman, and advancing him to be the direct adversary to Ahura Mazda. Number 3. Zoroastrianism is not entirely uniform in theological and philosophical thought, especially with historical and modern influences having a significant impact on individual and local beliefs, practices, values and vocabulary, sometimes merging with tradition and in other cases displacing it. Modern Zoroastrianism, however, tends to divide itself into either reformist or traditionalist camps with various smaller movements arising. In Zoroastrianism, the purpose in life is to become an Ashavan, a master of Asha, and to bring happiness into the world, which contributes to the cosmic battle against evil. Zoroastrianism's core teachings include: follow the threefold path of Asha, Humata, Huckster, Huvashta, good thoughts, good words, good deeds. Charity is a way of maintaining one's soul aligned to Asha and to spread happiness. The spiritual equality and duty of men and women alike. Being good for the sake of goodness and without the hope of reward, see Asham Vohu. Number 4. According to the Zoroastrian creation myth, Ahura Mazda existed in light and goodness above, while Angra Mainyu existed in darkness and ignorance below. They have existed independently of each other for all time, and manifest contrary substances. Ahura Mazda first manifested 7 divine beings called Amesha Spentas, who support him, and represent beneficent aspects of personality and creation, along with numerous Yazetas, divinities worthy of worship. Ahura Mazda then created the material and visible world itself in order to ensnare evil. Ahura Mazda created the floating, egg-shaped universe in 2 parts. First the spiritual, Manog, and 3,000 years later, the physical, Getig. Ahura Mazda then created Gyomar, the archetypical perfect man, and Gavayevodata, the primordial bovine. Number 5. Zoroastrianism also includes beliefs about the renovation of the world, Frashakarati, and individual judgment, cf. General and particular judgment, including the resurrection of the dead, which are alluded to in the Gathas, but developed in later Avestan and Middle Persian writings. Individual judgment at death is at the Chinvat Bridge, Bridge of Judgment, or Bridge of Choice, which each human must cross, facing a spiritual judgment, though modern belief is split as to whether it is representative of a mental decision during life to choose between good and evil or an afterworld location. Humans' actions under their free will through choice determine the outcome. According to tradition, the soul is judged by the Yazetas Mithra, Sraosha, and Rashnu, where depending on the verdict one is either greeted at the bridge by a beautiful sweet-smelling maiden, or by an ugly, foul-smelling old hag representing their Dana affected by their actions in life. The maiden leads the dead safely across the bridge, which widens and becomes pleasant for the righteous, towards the house of song. The hag leads the dead down a bridge that narrows to a razor's edge, and is full of stench until the departed falls off into the abyss towards the house of lies. Those with a balance of good and evil go to Hammerstegen, a neutral place of waiting, where according to the Dadistan-i Denig, a Middle Persian work from the 9th century, the souls of the departed can relive their lives, and conduct good deeds to raise themselves towards the house of song, or await the final judgment and the mercy of Ahura Mazda. Number 6. According to legend, the final savior of the world, known as the Sauciant, will be born to a virgin impregnated by the seed of Zoroaster while bathing in a lake. The Sauciant will raise the dead, including those in all afterworlds, for final judgment, returning the wicked to hell to be purged of bodily sin. Next, all will wade through a river of molten metal in which the righteous will not burn, but through which the impure will be completely purified. The forces of good will ultimately triumph over evil, rendering it forever impotent but not destroyed. The Sauciant and Ahura Mazda will offer a bull, as a final sacrifice for all time, and all humans will become immortal. Mountains will again flatten and valleys will rise. The house of song will descend to the moon, and the earth will rise to meet them both. Humanity will require 2 judgments because there are as many aspects to our being: spiritual, monog, and physical, getig. Thus, Zoroastrianism can be said to be a universalist religion with respect to salvation in that all souls are redeemed at the final judgment. Number 7. The central ritual of Zoroastrianism is the Yasna, which is a recitation of the eponymous book of the Avesta, and sacrificial ritual ceremony involving Haoma. Extensions to the Yasna ritual are possible through use of the Visparad and Vendadad, but such an extended ritual is rare in modern Zoroastrianism. The Yasna itself descended from Indo-Iranian sacrificial ceremonies, and animal sacrifice of varying degrees are mentioned in the Avesta, and are still practiced in Zoroastrianism, albeit through reduced forms such as the sacrifice of fat before meals. High rituals such as the Yasna are considered to be the purview of the Mobeds, with a corpus of individual and communal rituals and prayers included in the Korde Avesta. A Zoroastrian is welcomed into the faith through the Navjote Sedra Pushi ceremony, which is traditionally conducted during the later childhood or pre-teen years of the aspirant, though there is no defined age limit for the ritual. After the ceremony, Zoroastrians are encouraged to wear their sedra, ritual shirt, and kusti, ritual girdle, daily as a spiritual reminder and for mystical protection, though reformist Zoroastrians tend to only wear them during festivals, ceremonies, and prayers. Number 8. The incorporation of cultural and local rituals is quite common, and traditions have been passed down in historically Zoroastrian communities such as herbal healing practices, wedding ceremonies, and the like. Traditionally, Zoroastrian rituals have also included shamanic elements involving mystical methods such as spirit travel to the invisible realm, and involving the consumption of fortified wine, haoma, mang, and other ritual aids. Historically, Zoroastrians are encouraged to pray the 5 daily GHs and to maintain and celebrate the various holy festivals of the Zoroastrian calendar, which can differ from community to community. Zoroastrian prayers, called mantras, are conducted usually with hands outstretched in imitation of Zoroaster's prayer style described in the Gathas, and are of a reflectionary and supplicant nature, believed to be endowed with the ability to banish evil. Devout Zoroastrians are known to cover their heads during prayer, either with traditional topi, scarves, other headwear, or even just their hands. However, full coverage and veiling, which is traditional in Islamic practice, is not a part of Zoroastrianism, and Zoroastrian women in Iran wear their head coverings displaying hair and their faces to defy mandates by the Islamic Republic of Iran. Number 9. Central to Zoroastrianism is the emphasis on moral choice, to choose the responsibility and duty for which one is in the mortal world, or to give up this duty and so facilitate the work of Druj. Similarly, predestination is rejected in Zoroastrian teaching, and the absolute free will of all conscious beings is core, with even divine beings having the ability to choose. Humans bear responsibility for all situations they are in, and in the way they act toward one another. Reward, punishment, happiness, and grief all depend on how individuals live their lives. Number 10. Zoroastrianism was founded by Zoroaster in ancient Iran. The precise date of the founding of Zoroastrianism is uncertain, and dates differ wildly from 2000 BCE to 200 years before Alexander. Zoroaster was born in either northeast Iran or southwest Afghanistan. He was born into a culture with a polytheistic religion, which included excessive animal sacrifice and the excessive ritual use of intoxicants, and his life was defined heavily by the settling of his people, and the constant threats of raids and conflict. Zoroaster rejected many of the gods of the Bronze Age Iranians and their oppressive class structure, in which the Karvis and Karapans, princes and priests, controlled the ordinary people. He also opposed cruel animal sacrifices, and the excessive use of the hallucinogenic hayoma plant, possibly a species of ephedra, but did not outright condemn completely either practice in moderate forms. What do you think of this list? Do let us know in the comment section below. If you enjoyed this video and want to hear from us again, be sure to hit that subscribe button before you go.